Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, October 21st, 2023. The Highway 62 Art Tours is having its third and final weekend, wrapping up almost an entire month of high desert artists opening their studios and in many cases their homes to hundreds of visitors. When looking through the Highway 62 Art Tours guide, make sure the artist listed has an October 21st/22nd tag next to their number, as artist availability has changed every weekend of the event. If this is the first you're hearing about the Open Art Studio Tours, visit mbcac.org or this story on our website for links to maps, apps, and physical locations where you can still pick up a beautiful full-color program. The Highway 62 Art Tours run Saturday and Sunday between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., Look for signs all over the Morongo Basin pointing you to unique high desert art. Party like it's 1987 all weekend long at the 87th Annual Pioneer Days. Festival fan Jeff Harmatz joins us with everything you need to know to plan your Pioneer Party.
The 87th Annual Pioneer Days is running strong all weekend long in 29 Palms. The carnival at Lucky Park continues until Sunday, and family-friendly events celebrating the history of 29 Palms are happening essentially from morning to night. Last week on the Z107.7 Up Close show, Gary Daigneault discussed Pioneer Days with 29 Palms Community Events Coordinator Scott Klinkscales with a look at what you can expect tonight and tomorrow. Here are snippets from that conversation. There will be a free concert at Lucky Park tonight as part of the festivities.
Forever Came Calling, that's Joe Candelaria's band. They are actually about to head out on tour. Him and his brother Xavier reached out to me. They were like, we want to give back and just do something for the community. I was like, well, let's put on a concert during Pioneer Days. And so now we've got them for our first concert of the weekend.
For a full rundown of Pioneer Days events this weekend, see a link at this story at z1077fm.com or visit 29palms.org. Reporting for Z1077, I'm Jeff Harmatz.
After Pioneer Days wraps this weekend, keep your calendar clear for the 29 Palms Book Festival taking place next Saturday, October 28th. There'll be a full day of literary events from dusk till dawn, a book fair with 29 distinguished and emerging authors signing their books, along with live sessions all day long. The festival's activities will be hosted by two adjacent downtown locations, the 29 Palms Community Center and the Corner 62 Shopping Passage. Come out next Saturday and celebrate the Frontier spirit. You can get a full list of authors and events at 29pbf.com. Tonight, Joshua Tree's Beatnik Lounge presents a monthly local band showcase called Beast Night, hosted by the band Sweet Beast. Reporter Gabriel Hart joins us with a rundown on tonight's installment of this wild series.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the reverb-soaked surf twang of Sweet Beast, joined by the experimental psych blues of the Hawk Messengers, for a two-band bill that will bring the thunder with 3 hours of non-stop music from 7 to 10 p.m. Bring your friends and your wildest spirit. Don't miss out on this epic event at the Beatnik Lounge at 615-9729 Palms Highway in the heart of Joshua Tree. $5 suggested donation. Reporting for Z1077, this is assignment reporter Gabriel Hart.
The Mojave National Preserve continues their work toward a full reopening. According to their Instagram account, the preserve has reconditioned more of their unpaved roads in the park, and four-wheel drive high-clearance restrictions have been lifted for many of the roads. The preserve still has many closures, including the Kelso Visitor Center and SEMA Road. Always check Public Lands websites for the most up-to-date information regarding road and land closures, or check out the National Park Services app. You can find links to everything mentioned at this story on our website, z1077fm.com. Theater 29 opened their 2023-24 season with Roald Dahl's The Witches, which is wrapping up its run this weekend with its final showing on Sunday the 22nd. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas attended, and spoiler alert, thinks you should get in on the final weekend of this wickedly produced play.
In the litany of children's literature, very few authors loom as large as Roald Dahl. His tales of underdog heroes and outrageous villains have been translated to the cinema, television, and of course the stage. One such novel is The Witches, whose stage incarnation has now taken residence on the boards at Theater 29. This adaptation of Dahl's novel by playwright David Wood stays rather faithful to the original novel in mood and substance. At the center of the tale is Boy, played with maturity and grace by Julius Dean. Boy's ever-faithful grandmama, played here by veteran actress Childs connects to the soul of the piece, while the erstwhile villain, the Grand High Witch, is played with thinly masked malice by Janet Piercy. The Witches is a terrific show to bring the whole family to, and perfect for the not-too-scary Halloween outing. I would suggest getting your tickets now. You won't regret it. To read the full review, check out this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7, this is arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
The 10th edition of the Choya Needles Young Writers and Authors issue is out now. It includes poetry and art created by 138 students from Yucca Valley Elementary, Cesar Chavez Elementary, San Jose Charter Academy, and La Contenta Middle School. Mary Cook Ryan is the Education's Program Manager at the Mojave Desert Land Trust, and she runs their Desert Discovery Field Studies program, a once-a-week visit over 8 weeks where she taught students about the desert around them and the animals and plants they share it with. Part of that program is expressing feelings about the desert through art and poetry. Here's Mary Cook Ryan.
The kids can develop their own poetry based on what they've learned in class. They can talk about the different themes. They can talk about spiders or rattlesnakes or the desert in general, their experience living here. And so we take those poems, the poems that the students developed in class, and we work with Choya Needles to get those published.
Choya Needles publishes literary magazines and books by local and visiting writers who love the desert. I spoke with Choya Needles editor Rich through email, and he says that his first opportunity to become a published poet was in a community magazine when he was 10 years old. He said that opportunity gave a direction to his life, which is why he's always made sure to have a youth issue in whatever poetry magazine he was working on. The bright and cheery autumn 2023 edition of Choya Needles, featuring young desert writers and artists, is nearly 100 pages of charming artwork and poetry that for me demonstrates how a child can show a pure appreciation for something, free of any cynical edge brought on by age and time.
You can see the desert through their eyes, and you can see they understand the importance of conservation. You know, they can see the beauty in it, and they can connect with it in an authentic way. So that's one of the things that the poetry does, is it shows their authentic connections to where they live. And I think that's really powerful when you even just reading through all of them, you know.
Roadrunners running and jumping, spiders scurrying around finding a place to put a web, lizards bathing in the sun, birds flying in the wide open sky, centipedes creeping along the sand, scorpions hiding on tree bark. There's so many great animals, yet we can't understand even one. That was a poem by Stephen Dolata at Yucca Valley Elementary. You can find a longer version of this story on our website, along with some samples of the poetry and artwork, and a link to buy your own copy of some of the High Desert's newest published artists. It costs less than a latte and makes a great gift and supports expression through the written word, of which I am a fan. And that's your local news. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Haydon.